What up, though?
What up, though? Welcome to Clink.
Welcome to Clink recap.
Mm-hmm.
And we are recapping
Love and Marriage. Love and Marriage. Detroit. In the 313, that's the place to be.
And I know we were talking about this. Oh, y'all. Hey, hi. Thank you for stopping by. Go ahead and feel free to comment, please. We engage with our audience. And make sure you click that like and stick around. And you want to subscribe. So do that at the end, okay?
Yes.
You don't want to.
Yes, you do.
So, okay. A lot of people, they're not feeling it. They're not feeling it.
I've been hearing a lot of stuff here. Hopefully it's catching on in other places, but here I've been hearing a lot of negative feedback, but we're going to stay the course and get through this season.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. Now, should they have a second season? I highly I don't know. I
highly recommend you find some people that we like are familiar with, like some even some older couples. But then again, when you get to a certain point in life, you ain't trying to do all that.
Right. So, Love and Marriage. This is episode what? 5?
I think it's
6.
And it's called Spill the Tea in Public.
Oh, and that's what they did
all the time.
Okay. So we come in at the Coney Island. They're still bickering.
Ooh, Anthony, if you don't stop trying to be Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Ooh, why you say that, girl?
Because in his heart, he always wants to come across like, he's coming across like, I'm trying to just keep everybody together. I love everybody. Mm-hmm. But later on, we find out some other stuff. But Anthony calls out Christina on being dramatic.
Her hood came out. Did you see her? She was like, it wasn't Miss Prissy. It was hood. Her hood came out.
And that tone went up. Yeah. But he did make one point, though. She does change perspectives when she's talking about the truth. You making yourself look like you don't be telling the truth. And I know you might get on IG or whatever, but you can't talk your way out of that one because you keep changing up.
Yeah.
Every week you change up, but it's crazy because everything is filmed, so we can look back and see like you clearly did this and you clearly said that. But I don't know if it's because the script or just
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but we go. Did you want to say something about that scene?
The conversation didn't go smoothly.
It didn't.
It was just, I didn't even see really the value of that, them even meeting at the Coney Islands to talk to them, period, because the conversation went absolutely nowhere.
It went nowhere. And so it went to Anthony going home to his wife, Dr. Toya, and they were just talking about, their events that they went to, because Dr. Toya went to Kobe's party. So she was just telling Anthony about that, and Anthony was telling
he was telling his wife that their meeting was very unproductive and that he's tired of having these. He talked about his conversation that he had with Brandon and Christina and that it was very uneventful. And Dr. Toya says, because Christina kept saying, well, why didn't she call me? Why do you want people to call you? You clearly don't call people back when they call you.
Right.
So why would she even reach out?
She like to meet them in person, so she says.
Well, that's what you say, but then I'm just feeling the whole everything has to be revolve around Christina and on her schedule and when she feels like it. And in life, when we're dealing with different people in relationships, it's not always about when you feel like it. Sometimes you just have to handle it when you handle it. It'll be different if something really bad happened, but they just had like a conversation. So I would hate to see how she would handle a real issue.
Everybody's is over it. Dr. Toya is over
You know
it.
her name started with a K like yours. You might want to, No, I'm just
Oh, but everybody just over them. Like Dr. Toya is over them. The Kobe and them like over them. Look at Tupac. He's over them.
Look at his face.
So,
Tupac is over you.
He's over
and then
them.
the thing too, when they were talking, Christina's like, well, if she has a problem, why doesn't she communicate with me? And she didn't say anything to you except she wanted to be out of it. It's too much drama and she don't want to deal with it because she said you were acting fake. And she told you that to her face,
to your face,
just to say because of how she was handling the situation and some of the things that she was saying. And they talked about how Christina doesn't accept account. She's not responsible. She will not be accountable for anything that she says or does. And we clearly see that she twists the truth.
Yeah, clearly. And Dr. Toya was like, the common denominator with everything is going awry is Brandon and Christina. But Anthony, he's still trying to, he still loves them, so he want to suggest a trip. That's what he said at this point.
Anthony to me is so churchy. You know how people in the church say one thing, but they mean another, and they kind of be a little, don't say what you don't mean, and don't, you just got to say what you mean and mean what you say. Because I'm starting to see a little rift in my observation of Anthony's character as well. It's kind of like you kind of being a little messy.
Right. I picked that some time ago. I was like, he messy, he petty.
So how you feel about Russell telling her?
Girl, I like what Kobe was like. Here he go rustling. She was rustling.
That's cute.
That was cute. I was.
But she be on his head, but she do respect him. And that's the thing
she does. Because he was like, he just told her about the meeting. She was like,
oh, that's the meeting that I told you that I need to be a part of, and you're not keeping me in the loop, honey. And girl, I commend you, Cole, because you were very cool, calm, and collected.
She was,
and so kudos to you.
She was like, I will clear my schedule. He was like, oh, you gonna clear your? I will clear it.
And she kept it clear. You have to communicate with me, Russell. Don't keep me out of the loop, because you ain't gonna want the other Kobe to come out. You don't want Kobe cat to come out.
Right.
Not the copycat, but the ram. Okay.
So at this point, we are at Brandon and Christina. She went to Star Factory because she's helping him out with the stage managing. And so they're talking about the showcase and Christina thinks Anthony is doing some shady things because she
because Brandon said that Anthony said that there were 25 slots and that Brandon could have 3. And I thought that was I'm like, now you got to agree with me on this. How you gonna give him 3 out of everything? And but we find out later on some more about that. And he's like, Anthony is clearly taking over, but I think it also still goes back to the communication piece. We have to learn how to talk and stop assuming what people are going to do and talk. Sometimes if you can't communicate with them, talk face to face, sit down, show the numbers, show the chart, show how it's going to go. Just pull out the pen and the paper, the spreadsheet. So the question came up is, what exactly does Anthony do? Because I don't know. All I heard was he's a businessman. That's all he keeps saying. I'm a businessman, and I had I almost had a deal with Disney. That's the only thing we've heard.
We still don't know. But he said everybody else knows. So.
Who's everybody else? Because I don't know myself.
So we have Kobe with her friend Chelsea. I'm like, everybody friend named Chelsea? I'm like, so she's talking.
They're trying to do the C and the K. I mean,
right.
I'm no, the original one.
No, so Kobe's talking with her friend Chelsea, and they're talking about, and she's talking about Russell's lack of communication.
And I like how Chelsea brought up how Russell uninvited them, but I love how Kobe said, okay, yeah, but right now we're talking about this gym situation because that's what I'm trying to wrap my mind around is that. So I love the fact that she's mature enough to say, okay, that's over, that's water under the bridge, but I just need my husband to communicate with me. And I love when she said Russell is a leader, and she took the time to think about it. She like, well, he was single before me. He didn't have anybody to
7 years before. Yeah.
And so he's kind of treating me like a girlfriend because he's being the leader that he
I
is.
was like, when she said that, I was like,
that was a good gem. So y'all single and married ladies out there, take heed to that. Sometimes your husband may be thinking like he's still single, not like on purpose,
right?
But just because that's the mindset that they're used to being in. So I think that Kobe needs to be heard, and as she should. Yeah. And I agree.
Yep, I do. Okay, and so now Christina is meeting with, what's her name, Brittany, with the publicist.
Yeah, Brittany B. Brown, BBB.
So she's starting stuff because the publicist was like, hold up. So
I want to switch.
Go ahead.
I just want to switch. I'm saying I want a switch. Like back in the day, Christina need her little legs toe up. Because I don't know where you got this lion spirit from, but we didn't see that your parents was preachers. So Kobe's parents was preachers, and then Dr. Toya. Yeah. Your parents need to be some preachers because somebody didn't spank them little legs that you got the spirit of manipulation.
Because the whole thing was when the publicist says that it got back to her that
Anthony
the Smiths don't F with her.
Yeah, and Anthony went back and said that. And my thing is, why would you go back and say something like that? And he's saying that's his friend, but sometimes
he's saying that's his friend.
Sometimes you have to use discernment. If they're not talking about beheading them or doing something that's going to mess up their money, if I'm upset about something and I come to you and I talk to you about someone, you're not going to go back and tell them. You know that I'm venting. You know, like sometimes let people circle back. He may have felt like that day, and if you really felt like it was going off on him, you should have came back to it and said, you remember the other day when you said whatever about Brent? First of all, I'm gonna say this. What? Brittany B is my friend. I don't appreciate you can't talk to her about her like that. What did she do to you? Is it something that could be rectified between the two of you? That's the conversation that needed to be had, not you sitting there listening to him dog her. So you say, and then you didn't stand up for her, and that's your friend. So I got an issue with that. Because yeah.
And then but the publicist was like, Russell, he didn't say anything about Russell and them.
No.
She specifically said that.
She specifically said Brandon.
But because Christina said that she called Russell to tell him, that's when the publicist was like, Russell, he didn't say nothing about Russell and Kobe.
Right.
So I was like, I get why the next,
So the scene after that, Russell is conducting a Bible study because he's thought about
everything. And that Bible verse.
Man, are y'all scared to talk about Jesus? You can't be scared to talk about the Creator, okay? So Russell's trying to conduct a Bible study with Anthony, Bravo, and Brandon, and Russell tells Brandon that he was emotional at the time when they last spoke, and he misspoke, and he wants to reconcile. So they talk or whatever, and they get an understanding. But then we come back to Christina flat out lied to Brittany, saying that Anthony said stuff about Russell and Kobe.
Exactly.
And Russell and Kobe weren't even a part of the conversation. So Christina, that liar, that just makes you look really bad because you flat out lied. And so while Anthony is sitting there trying to have a pissing contest with Brandon about stuff, you need I was upset because they started arguing about who's the best producer. The bottom line, ain't none of us heard of either one of y'all. So I don't understand why you trying to have a pissing contest, and then Anthony, you are almost comical when he gets emotional. It's just I don't believe that Anthony really can get mad in real life. I think that he be trying to be upset, but
he in his mind, in his world, he's a top dog.
In his mind, in the world,
in his world, and because when Brandon was like, he's little dog, he was like, oh, his ego was bruised. Oh, no.
Brandon said to him, and he said, Brandon, I ain't seen Star Factory create not one star. And I was like, but at least I've heard of the Star Factory. I know people whose children have gone there. I know different people who have gone to the Star Factory. So to Brandon's defense, Anthony, I haven't heard of you ever in life, and I just haven't. But Anthony got really upset when he said he was using his dad's money, because I remember in a previous episode, wasn't he raised by his grandmother?
So I think we were just saying that because he said he misses grandmother. We were just speculating that he.
But I know Brandon was throwing. He was like, he threw a dart. I threw a dart too.
But we really found out like what happened, because Bravo said he was the one that was actually making all the calls and the shots, because he said because Brandon and Anthony weren't talking. So
and Brandon was like, I didn't know we wasn't talking.
So Brandon's getting mad at Anthony for no reason because it's all Bravo. I was like, oh,
but okay. I still think the egos were flaring, but I think that Anthony, he questionable to me now, because now I'm just kind of like, you be saying kumbaya, but you trying to be a thug. How do you think? I did like the fact that they did pray it out at the end.
Yeah, they did.
And everybody said how they felt, and they did a little man hug. But what you think about the thing with Christina and Kobe? Girl, I could put this down for this now, honey. I don't need no notes for this one.
I was like, Kobe already came in on 10. Because you know what I think happened? Because all the while she was walking over to meet her, it looked like campus somewhere downtown, Campus Marshes. Yeah. You know, Christina and Brandon lives down there. So she was like, I don't know why she could have called me. It just, I didn't have to come to do this.
So we talk about everything any other
right.
time.
She said I didn't, because she kept saying I shouldn't have to come down here. I think that the producers were told. I think they probably called her like, come on, just go down there. I'm sure Kobe was like, no, I'm not going down there. I know they probably like, just go down there and meet her. Just go
Kobe
meet her.
Clearly was filming because she called her husband.
She called her husband, and she had not even called Kobe to check on her,
say happy
birthday. Oh, but you gonna call my man?
When she was going off, I thought Kobe was gonna pull out the Vaseline.
Oh, so you saw the tear, right? Because you said she cried, she teared up when she get mad.
Because you did call my husband. You're saying that you're my friend and you love me and this, that, and the other, but you call him about some bull crap.
Bull crap that you done lied about.
And then Christine, why did you lie and say that Kobe and Russell had anything to do with anything when the lady Brittany told you that they did not? They had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand that, other than you are a manipulator. You lie, cheat, deceive, heartbreaker. You pick. Lord, I ain't gonna put that on that girl. But that was horrible. And then she was trying to talk to her, but again, I think Christina has a problem trying. She's always trying to control the narrative.
She is. She always trying to control how she's perceived, because I was like, no, I'm not gonna call this woman out her name. I almost did. I was like, no, this lady didn't. The lady wasn't going through my head though. You can just fill in the blanks, okay? Mm-hmm. Like, no, she didn't, because she was like, you're embarrassing me. You know, we're outside, we're doing this. Oh, you are prissy and prim, but you were getting ghetto and going all like this with Brandon in a Coney Island.
Christina, you're passive aggressive. You're passive aggressive. You never really say how you really feel.
Pick one. Either you're gonna be loud and ghetto with the this
and with the,
or you're gonna be the fake, high pitched Christina. Calm down. You're embarrassing. I'm like, girl, bye. Girl, bye. Did you really just say that?
She was playing on Kobe's emotions because she knew Kobe was emotional. But
yeah,
Christina, you would have been upset if Kobe called your husband too.
Would she?
I think she would. But Kobe wouldn't have called your husband because
she would not have. She know the protocol.
She know the protocol.
Because some people were like, you know, they were like, okay, that was a bit too much.
There was.
She shouldn't have to, you know, be that dramatic and that hot over that. So you agree with Kobe? I agree with Kobe.
I agree that you don't ever call my husband.
Don't do that.
Now, no.
Don't do that.
You have no reason to ever call my husband, and then you didn't call him. You didn't call him and say, how's she doing?
Mm-hmm.
Is she all right? How did her party go? You know, I haven't talked to Kobe, but I want to figure out a way because I know the last time we talked, that what you call him with mess, with gossip, with something that is.
And you should tell your girl,
Christina, you getting a thumbs down for me.
Me too.
And Kobe, whoop that. No, I'm just playing. No, but you never protocols. You never call
with a bat.
Beat that
with a bat.
You never call another woman's husband, and you know that because you have a husband. How did you feel when that woman with Brandon and his artist? You should know how it feels, so you should know better than that. Mm-hmm. Because that's how you open up the door to be the emotional thing. He thinking is one thing, and what if he didn't tell his wife? Then it'd be like, well, he didn't tell her, so we don't know what your angle is. I'm just saying.
Right, but yeah, Kobe, ooh, my girl was irate. Like I said,
she wanted to beat her up.
She did not want to be there. Like I said, I know I would bet money the producers had to get her down there. That's something she did not want to do. It's just written all over her face, and her attitude is her.
Like,
her
I gotta get dressed. Right. I gotta get dressed. I gotta
She don't know, like, come down here, you know, and it takes time out my day, you know,
with my child and the things that the business I have to take care of. For you to sit here and just say, Christina wants to be the victim. I just pray that she gets some help in that area because she just want to be the victim of everything.
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of people are
over Christina,
are over this, and
over the whole show.
They are. I don't know, Carlos. I don't know, dude. I think we're seeing it out to the end, but yeah, that's it, bro.
I think you need to introduce some more characters of things that are more relevant because some of it is too close, like them both being influencers. They, but we do need to know what Anthony do.
We do. Hopefully it gets revealed. And girl, the upcoming scenes, I'm like, these folks,
they look a little juicy.
It does.
It does. So we're gonna stay the course.
We are.
And so we'll see.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and like again. Comment, what was your favorite part of this episode? Are you still watching? Okay. And just subscribe to us. That is how you can support us, and it's absolutely free. Okay, y'all.
Or you can email us at allthingscamandk@gmail.com. Or you can go on our Facebook page and leave us a comment there as well.
Yep. If you want to suggest a show for us or anything like that, just email it to us, and we will take that into consideration. Yeah. So thank you guys, and thank you for tuning in to Clink.
Bye.
Bye.